Hi, movie story recapped here. Today, I'm going to explain a 2002 vampire film called Queen of the Damned. Spoilers ahead, watch out, and take care. The vampire Lestat rises from his resting place and feeds upon a victim, feeling more revitalized than ever before. He then proceeds to go and find where the music he hears is coming from, delighted to discover that it is from his old house, and soon shows the young mortal band his talents and makes them famous, calling the rock band the Vampire Lestat. Achieving international success, Lestat, having revealed the existence of vampires, taunts the others of his kind during an interview for promoting his first and only live concert. Lestat invites over 2 female fans of his. They came looking for a good time. They tease and play with Lestat. Lestat began crawling up the walls onto the ceiling. This frightened the girls, then Lestat ends up devouring them. Jesse Reeves, a researcher for the paranormal studies group Talamasca, is intrigued by Lestat's lyrics after hearing one of his songs play on TV and tells the rest of the group her theory that he really is a vampire. Her mentor, David Talbot, takes her aside and tells her they know what he is and that a vampire called Marius made him. David also shows her Lestat's journal that he recovered and gives it to Jesse for her to read on the condition that she promises not to go back to the Admiral's Arms Club. In the journal, Lestat recalls how he was turned into a vampire by Marius, how he learned to be discreet, and how he awoke Akasha below ground, the first vampire, with his music. She put forth her hand so he can bite her wrist. He then passed out. He immediately got obsessed with her. Marius chained him to the bed until he fell asleep. When Lestat awoke, Marius disappeared and took the statues of Akasha and her mate. Unsatisfied with what she read, Jesse tracks Lestat down in that London vampire club, the Admiral's Arms, where he saves her from 3 vampires and confronts her about Marius. In Los Angeles, Lestat is visited by Marius, who warns him that the other vampires will not tolerate his flamboyant public profile. Marius also reveals that Lestat's new music has awakened Akasha and destroyed her king to absorb his power. Marius begs Lestat to cancel his concert, which he refuses. Meanwhile, Akasha, who is searching for Lestat, arrives at the Admiral's Arms. After the vampires reveal their plan to kill Lestat at his concert, Akasha torches the club and kills all the vampires inside. Jesse arrives at Los Angeles and gives Lestat his journal back. She then asks him to show her what being a vampire is like. Lestat scoffs at the idea, but Jesse convinces him to spend his last moments before the concert with her. The two spend some time together and Jesse later asks Lestat to turn her, telling him she wants to be with him and that she wants to know everything he does. Lestat angrily refuses, and shows her what it's like for a vampire to feed aggressively on a human. He comes back to her asking her if this is truly what she wants. She recoils in fear from him, he scoffs at her agreeing and then leaves. Jesse later shows up at the concert following Lestat. While performing at his concert in Death Valley, a group of vampires attack Lestat. With Marius' help, they both fend off most of the vampires until Akasha bursts through the stage and takes Lestat with her. Akasha brings Lestat to her new home, where the 2 vampires did some lovemaking, during which time Lestat becomes spellbound by Akasha and is forced to obey her, and Akasha proclaims Lestat her new king. The next day when Lestat awoke, he was able to walk in the light, and he notices outside that Akasha mauled the entire populace of that home. Then she tells him this is only a taste of what they shall be doing. After the concert, Jesse is taken to the home of her aunt, Mahere, who later reveals herself to be one of the ancient vampires. Knowing Akasha's plan to take over the world, the ancient vampires discuss their plans to destroy the queen by drinking from her and draining her of her blood. However, they believe that whoever drinks the queen's last drop will not survive. Empowered by Akasha's blood, Lestat and the queen confront the ancient vampires. When they refuse to join her, Akasha then commands Lestat to kill Jesse, as the queen sees her both as an enemy, due to being Mahoret's descendant, and as food, with Akasha making an example out of her for those who dare disobey her command. Lestat ostensibly obeys, but after drinking Jesse's blood, comes to his senses and is released from Akasha's power. He angrily requests for his crown, and Akasha openly gives him her arm to feed on. Lestat then turns on her and begins to drain Akasha's blood. He drinks from her once more, but does not stop and she throws him off. With the help of the ancients, Akasha's power diminishes. Mahere is the last to drink Akasha's blood, destroying Akasha. Lestat goes to Jesse and, cradling her in his arms, gives her his blood as Mahere turns into a marble statue and sleeps, becoming the new queen of the damned. Lestat and Jesse, who is now a vampire, visit David and return Lestat's journal. When asked by David what it is like, Jesse offers to turn him into a vampire, to which he replies he's too old for immortality. Jesse then bids David goodbye and goes to embrace him. David shows fear and rejects the embrace, Sensing his hesitation, Jessie looks hurt but nods in understanding. She leaves with Lestat. The couple walk off into a haze of lights and flashing by figures who carry on with their normal lives. A few moments later, David is greeted by Marius. Marius enters David's office, well aware that David has obsessed over him for many years, and greets David with a polite tone. The film closes with Lestat and Jessie walking hand in hand, among mortals, into the night. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.